Hello, everyone. 411 Business. This is JC, and today we have Tracy with the Being Tracy Show. Tracy,
Yay!
tell us about Being Tracy. I'm excited.
Hello, everybody. I'm so excited to be here. Honestly, this is amazing. Well, someone made a very smart comment underneath my podcast this morning, and I was like, "Who is that?" 411 Business. I got to find out who that is. North Carolina. Who is that? And then I found out it's our friend here, JC. So, well, the Me and Tracy show is about life, right? It's about things that happen to all of us. It started with my podcast, which was www.beingtracy.com, which started when I was in South Beach dating, and these crazy things were happening to me. And I was like, I have to write it down because I'm never going to remember this, and no one's ever going to believe it. And now I've got like over 100 blogs, and it stemmed from that to be a show interviewing people that have been super successful, that have been through adversity, as I feel that I have, and beaten it, and giving people, tools, humor to get through the trenches that we all go through every day, and to rise above it and to be the most you can be. As I'm trying to be the most that I can be. I'm still working on myself. I haven't conquered it all, but I'm also in search of what is our purpose, what's driving all of us, what makes you do what you do, how do you feel when that happens to you? That's the kind of questions I want to know. Like, is this happening to you too? Are you feeling the same way I am? That's the kind of stuff I'm trying to find out, and
I
help,
love it.
hopefully help other people as they're going through this kind of similar circumstances, especially now in our 50s, to know that you're not alone, and know that other people have gotten through the same trenches that you're going through. And we're all constantly every day. You got to beat it every day, right?
Every day as we grow through what we go through.
Exactly. Exactly.
I love it. So, how do you find your guests? Do you just randomly pick whoever, or do guests contact you, or
It's funny you ask. Some contact me, some have reached out to me. You can find me at the Being Tracy Show on YouTube. It's also on Spotify and Apple. I've got a Being Tracy on Facebook is a big page there that I've got a big following. You can message me on there as well. People find me. It's like, what does Being Tracy find interesting? What does Being Tracy going through right now that maybe other people might be going through too? Like, we just did one yesterday with bachelor, although he doesn't like to be called a bachelor because he's got a girlfriend and she didn't want to, she does, she's not going to like it if he keeps being called a bachelor. She's been his girlfriend for 9 years, but he's got a take on all these things.
wow.
And I put that on YouTube yesterday. You can see it there. It answers a lot of the questions. He didn't like it that I had a couple of interviews with women that are dating to know what they're looking for. One of the women that I interviewed is actually writing a book on dating right now. And they had very definite ideas of what they're looking for right now, but he also does. And so do a lot of gentlemen. Actually, one gentleman even told me he didn't want to date me after he saw our last interview with a girl, because he was like, but whatever. I mean, like, everybody's got
want to date you because he's seen your podcast and heard a comment or something.
whatever. I don't know. I think it had more to do with me being not I probably was out of line. It was the kind of thing where we were sitting at Max's. I'd had a couple of drinks, and he was a very nice, handsome guy. But I looked at him and I said, "Are those boobs I see under your shirt?" And then I mean, like, it wasn't my finest moment. I'm like, I kind of liked him, but then he kissed me, and he said, I think that was a really good kiss, don't you? And I said, well, I don't know. I thought it was kind of wet. It's like the truth serum started coming out. Anyway, these are the kind of things that I do and I talk about because I don't have a filter. And so then after that, he saw my show and then he said, I just don't think we have anything in common. And I was like, that's funny because the night we met, you really seemed to think we had a lot in common. But, I wasn't I wasn't the nicest. I don't know. And then I wonder, is it me? Am I pushing these men away? I don't know, like
I think that, I think when we become, like we were talking about earlier, when we become confident with who we are, right? And we get to kind of learn who we want to be with, none of us settle, right? Because what do you do if you settle and then you're in the situation again a year from now, 2 years from now, where
yes,
absolutely miserable? So if someone is not compatible with you, or if you have to pretend to be somebody you're not, to be with
exactly.
somebody, wouldn't you agree that you're setting yourself up for failure? Because it's only going to work for the now. We're too old to change. No one is going to change, and so just understanding feasibility and
Right.
compatibility along with sustainability.
And you have to decide what you want. We all have to decide what it is we want, and is it a guy that has boobs under his shirt? I'm not sure. I'm not sure that's what I want. I mean, I kind of try to take good care of myself. And
And everybody has what they this is what I
I
always
mean, and that's so totally superficial. Honestly, I know it, but you know what? When you work to have your body looking good, it matters. I'm not gonna lie, it
it's
matters.
just like if you have worked your whole life to be financially sound, are you going to want to be with somebody who blows money and does not value their future and does not want?
Have the same values,
Exactly. And it's
similar
just
values.
alignment. We all have hard boundaries and then we have soft boundaries.
Yeah,
If it's a hard boundary and you break it, then really you're abandoning yourself.
right, right. I agree. I agree. Well, there are so many good people out there, and so I don't know.
I think it's awesome. And I think it's awesome that you're taking the opportunity to just be free. I tell everyone I'm a butterfly. I just fly around like a butterfly. And when people say, "Why are you single?" I say it's by choice. I'm looking
when
for
you find when you find your counterpart or someone that makes you want to change that,
not
I
even
mean, I don't know about you, but I have pretty much fun by myself. I do have a great time by myself. So if it's not someone that can raise me up and be just as much fun as I have by myself or even better, then what's the purpose, right?
Well, I know that the other day someone said something that was really profound to me. And with our conversation, it evolved into, he said, "Why do I want to get with a woman and I know that I'm going to have to stop watching football because all women hate football?" And I said, "Well, that's an interesting perspective. What if you got with a woman and she loved football and she wanted to watch football 7 days a week?" So it's just understanding really what are your main sticking points and then finding an alignment with that, because we're not going to find someone who thinks exactly like us, because then we might be bored too. But it's just finding your alignment for the things that are really important that you are not going to, like your hard boundaries that you don't want to waver on.
Well,
And
and I also think that when someone really wants to be with you, they're going to appreciate what you love and they're going to start to love it too.
well,
I
it's a
mean, I don't know anything about sports, but I can tell you what, I'm active and I love to watch sports. I do. I love to cheer for things. I mean, like, tell me which jersey to wear. I don't know. Tell me what color to wear. I'm there. I want to watch the sport and I'm going to cheer for it. Just tell me who we're rooting for. That's all I want to know.
Exactly. That is so me too. I call myself a bandwagon jumper because I just jump. It's like whoever I'm with, if I want to be involved in what they like, you know, unless it's a hard boundary of mine, then I wouldn't be with them. But outside of that, it's like, I like you. I want to invest in what you want to invest in. I want to know about what makes you tick. If something puts a smile on your face, I want to be a part of that smile. So it's
Yes.
just learning how to invest in each other, you know?
Yeah,
So
I
that's
agree.
really important, I feel like, you know?
I
And
totally
some
agree.
people feel like there's no such thing as love, you know? I get told that all the time by people are like,
Really?
"What are you doing? There's no such thing as love. It's
That's sad.
2024."
That's
And I'm
sad.
like,
I feel
"Well,
that.
I'm very sorry. I will pray for you."
That's sad. That's like having no hope, right?
Exactly. Well, I know for sure there's definitely love. You know, I don't really talk too much about my personal life, but my mother has had it twice. You know, my first dad passed away, and they were so loving and kind and nurturing to each other. They never used bad words or, you know, talked to each other outside of their name. And then lo and behold, she has that same thing again. So
Yeah,
I know that
that's
it's
so
real.
great to hear. That is wonderful to hear. I love that.
Exactly. And it's now. It's not like, "Oh, well, that was old." No, my dad passed away and she got someone and they've been together for 13 years. So again, it's like I feel like it's like we said earlier. It's
Yeah,
becoming what you want. If
exactly.
you
Yeah.
want somebody who is loving and kind, then, you know, you might want to be loving and kind too. If you want
Right.
somebody who focuses on finance and that's really important, well, then you might want to find somebody who focuses on finance too. You know, whatever your big sticking points is. And outside of that, you guys can figure it out, you know?
Right. Well, in order to attract what you want, you have to be what you want. Just like your post said this morning underneath my video, which was about, finding out what a middle-aged man wants in dating, you know. Because a lot of men were getting like, because they were hearing what these women want dating. They're like, well, why do you say what we want to say what men want? And so I got this guy over here that came out and said what he thought. And there are a lot of men, it's getting a lot of support. So anyway, you can see that on YouTube, Being Tracy or The Being Tracy Show, or Tracy Bush Pate is my name.
There you go, 411. We have the Being Tracy podcast. Phenomenal. I know you guys loved this, and you can see her there. Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you so much. I love it that we got to do this together. This is really a cool little setup you got here.
Thanks.